Hi, this is Man of Steel fan gives hope, the Facebook page on YouTube. If any of you are just tuning in for the first time, what it is there's a Facebook page called Man of Steel fan gives hope, where we do all the positive stuff concerning the DCU. And what this is now is it's a YouTube channel, so for any of those people that may want to comment to the page or may want to ask questions, you can talk to me directly through this YouTube channel instead of just a message here and there, because most of the time I'm not on hand on the page, and this gives me enough time to look through the messages, read it out, and hopefully make it feel more connected that I'm talking to you. What I want to discuss just now is the DCU and what the rules are. So, and how I want to do it is I've probably used this picture on the screensaver. So here's the facts. You've got Zack Snyder, you have Charles Roven, Deborah Snyder, Geoff Johns and Chris Terrio. Zack Snyder is the one that created the DCU. He had a vision of the shared universe and believed that he could intermingle all these other characters into the one universe. And now with his team on board, he can supervise things to make every film sort of, good, but he also has this vision that every film should have its own director and their own vision, as long as it stays in the parameters of a vision that he has, or as long as it's going with the stories that he's done. Basically, he created, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League. So him and Chris Terrio came together and created a storyline. So now any other director comes on board, it's all got to somehow tie in. So that's what his sort of role is, and he oversees certain things. He wrote the Wonder Woman story. He's still in contact with Joss Whedon on the Justice League. You also have Charles Roven, who is one of the main producers of the team, who produced the Dark Knight trilogy and stuff, and he is, well, put it this way, he's been working with Zack Snyder for a long time, so he sort of knows the area in which to go on. Probably has out of all the team, he has probably very little say, but he believes in this story arc, so that's he is the supporting role. As I say, this is just my thing. Chris Terrio, of course, he came on board with Batman v Superman. He came in, sort of rewrote the script, he then enhanced it or whatever. Got a lot of praises. Warner Brothers liked it, stuff. He's written the Justice League. He's done a lot of research on the characters, and lo and behold, we have Zack Snyder, and you can argue to the point till you're blue in the face, but he knows the characters, okay? He knows comics. So with that help, and alongside now we have Geoff Johns, the creative sort of spin of the team. He's been promoted to this creative officer for the DCU. He's already had his hands, on a lot of the DC TV shows, from Smallville to The Flash. Now there's talks about Teen Titans, but for him, for his movies, he is making sure that the characters in the film are sort of true to the creation, and making sure that they have the values that are right for it. He came on board with Wonder Woman, so he was more heavily involved with Wonder Woman, a story that again was written by Zack. So they all work together as a team, and because it was Zach's sort of story as well, it always had this sort of optimistic view in it. And as I say, Zach's there and got Patty Jenkins involved, and he let Patty Jenkins go with it. They gave her the story, and she made it her own, and that is what you call the team leader. Deborah Snyder, of course, she oversees everything that's involved with all the DCU films. Now, there is talks about, because the loss of their child, that they have little less input, but no, according to recent reports and people jumping on the bandwagon with Joss Whedon, there's been lots of reports and a lot of tweeting going on between Geoff Johns and Joss about whose actual film it is, and there's a lot of joking about it, but on the serious tone, it comes out as, no, it is still Zach's film. Joss has just been there to help Zach through this hard time, and he knows exactly what Zach needs and wants, and he has the final say. And you can read these posts on the Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope page itself. So that is the creative process behind it all. There is Joss Whedon takes over. How Wonder Woman justifies the DC. To be honest, I could justify the DCU plan. DC Films, Geoff Johns recently outlined his desire and future of the DC outlining that shine throughout Wonder Woman. And again, they're all apart, no matter what posts you read, no matter what junket, these are bloggers, these are sort of groups. I would take it from the source themselves as they tweet. As Gal Gadot has tweeted in her compassion for Zack Snyder and what a great director and vision, and how they love working together in this sort of DCU team, and how Joss Whedon now is on board to finish the film, and he wants the success of the film so much, that him and Zach, and it's been confirmed that they too are having this conversation on how to make the best film possible. And that is your team. Geoff Johns, I'm talking about in charge of the DCU. Chris Terrio, Zack Snyder, Deborah Snyder, Charles Roven, Geoff Johns. And maybe now Joss Whedon may come in now, but again, right now he's on the early stages. He's just got his film with the Batgirl going on. Once he's finished Justice League, again, you can say whatever you want with Joss Whedon. You've probably seen my early videos about Joss Whedon and how I'm not such a big fan, but I do know that he is a big fan, and he has, and where is it? 1, 2, 3. DC Cam fans' fears of Joss Whedon's taking over. And you can see that post on the Facebook, okay, on the Facebook page. He is not taking over. It is reshoots. Reshoots have been done for lots of films. It was done for Rogue One, and majority of the time it makes the films better. With such a big, high, expensive movie, they have to, you get the film out. It's just like a redraft. You write a story, and which I've done in my past. You write a story, then when you sit back and you read it again, and you went, oh no, I've got to edit that out, I've got to take that out, that's just nonsense what I've just written here. So sometimes it takes a time when you've read it through and you've written a chapter, you think it's finished. No writer writes a book from start to finish and that's it, and then gets it printed. No, it goes through an editing process, as you all know, or the writer of the story will read it and go, no, he shouldn't be in there, he shouldn't be at that bit. This, me as a reader is not ready for this bit yet. So that's all it is. So I hopefully this clarifies up things you probably already know. You probably think I'm granny teaching you to suck eggs, but hey, it helps me. Okay, I'm getting these posts. I'm getting these on Facebook all the time myself. I see what you guys are reading and girls, how Wonder Woman justifies the DCU plan, and how Joss Whedon's not taking over and who's actually in charge of the movies. And as I click onto this page, you know, and it's from Screen Rant, and you could go on, and let's see, the DCEU plan. Wonder Woman is the first DCU film to vividly fulfill Johns' stated mandate for DC's superhero movies. Many have assumed Wonder Woman's tone is a form of course correction for the DCU, but it seems like Patty Jenkins was allowed to make the origin story she wanted to make, with the thematic elements that mattered most to her, and it worked spectacularly. Jenkins' vision for Wonder Woman beautifully lined up with John's ideals for DC heroes as well as the audience. And paragraph 4, but even at credit scenes, Bruce Wayne's so basically all that is saying to me, as I read some of it more there, is it's just one continuous story. You know, the Suicide Squad, that ended with Bruce Wayne getting the Justice League, you know, with the end credit scene. And I don't know why they did the end credit scene. You know my views on the end credit scenes, okay? It should be right after the first hint of it ending. It should be right there, not at the way middle or the very end of credits. Okay, I know that's why they call it a credit scene, but no. I don't want to wait 40 odd minutes for this daft wee scene to come up. I want it just as the film goes to the title, then put it in, that's it, we can all go home. But this wee credit scene is, you know, when Bruce is handing over the Justice League, that is showing that things are getting lighter, that things are getting this hope, and that's the beauty of the DCU. It's started off with the gritty, it's went to the dark, but now with the heroes coming on board, there is hope, there is light, there's a dawn of justice. So I hope that's helped you any. It's helped me some, reading all these great posts that are finally coming out for the DCU. Thank you.